The allegro consists of quick and lively jumps, building from small, simple steps to large, more complex jumps. Petit allegro refers to small jumps and connecting steps performed at a rapid tempo, sometimes terre-à-terre or close to the ground. Grand allegro is done at more moderate tempo and aims at the greatest possible elevation and suspension in the air. In all allegro, the dancer aims for the quality of ballon, or a smooth, continuous rising and falling motion of the feet.
Sauter.
A sauté is a jump which starts and finishes in the same position. It may be performed in all positions of the feet. This step may also be termed temps levé.
Soubresaut.
Soubresaut is a jump starting and finishing in fifth without changing feet and assembling the legs in fifth in the air each time. It may be performed sur place or traveling in any direction. Here it is accompanied by a slight back bend while in the air.
Changement de pied.
This jump starts and finishes in fifth, changing feet so as to land with the other foot front. Here the legs pass through first position in the air each time. Here the legs are held tightly in fifth in the air and change only on the landing. Petit changements are done close to the floor, while grand changements aim toward the greatest elevation possible.
Retirer en l'air.
This is a jump starting and finishing in fifth, drawing both feet up under the body while in the air. When the legs are changed, this movement is also termed Italian changement. If the legs do not change, it may also be called grand soubresaut.
Retirer, sauter.
This movement is a jump starting and finishing in fifth position, drawing one foot to retirer while in the air, with the other foot extended beneath the body.
Échapper, sauter.
This consists of a jump from a closed position to an open one with a second jump to close again. Although not shown, échappé sauté can finish by closing in coup de pied. Here we see petit échappé sauté, the legs opening directly to second or fourth. In grand échappé sauté, fifth is held in the air, both opening and closing. In second, the step may be performed with beats. Here the legs change and beat once before opening, finishing fifth with the other leg front. This may also be termed royale ouverte. Here the legs open directly to second. On closing, the legs beat once before changing and landing fifth with the other leg front. This variation is termed royale fermée. When the beat is executed both opening and closing, it may be called échappée royale. Here, échappé sauté are performed beating twice. The legs change and beat twice before opening and landing in second, in a variation known as Royale Double Ouverte. Here the legs open directly to second, and on closing change and beat twice, the movement being called Royale Double Fermé. In Échappée Royale Double, a double beat is executed both opening and closing.
Temps levé.
Temps levé is a jump on one foot with the other leg in any desired position. The term temps levé is sometimes used to apply to the movements of sauté and six-son simple.
Assemblée coupée. Assemblée coupée fermée. Petite assemblée.
Assemblée coupée is a jump from 1 foot to 2 feet. Assembling the legs in fifth in the air before landing fifth position demi-plié.
Assemblée.
Starting in fifth with a demi-plié, one leg is extended just off the floor and assembled in fifth position in the air before landing fifth in demi-plié. De suite. A series of assemblées are done continuously. Soutenu. The knees are stretched and bent after each assemblée. When 2 assemblées are done with the same leg, the first not changing and the second changing feet, it is termed assemblée double. En tournant. Here the dancer takes a step to the side as preparation. A complete turn en dedans is made in the air while executing assemblé over. Assemblé is also performed over and under with beats. Here we see assemblé over battu. Assemblé under battu. With a step to the side as preparation, assemblé over battu is done en tournant.
Emboîter, sauter, petit jeté.
A jump is executed from one foot to the other, coup de pied devant, or coup de pied derrière. It is also done in a small attitude devant, or attitude derrière. En tournant, a series is performed in coup de pied devant, executing a half turn en dedans, followed by a half turn en dehors along the line of travel.
Jeter,
Starting fifth with a demi-plie, one leg is extended just off the floor. During the jump, it is cut in under the body, landing in demi-plie with the other foot coup de pied. En avant and en arrière may finish in an extended position as well as coup de pied. Jeté over and under may also be performed with beats. En tournant, jeté under is done continuously, executing a half-turn en dedans, followed by a half-turn en dehors, along the line of travel.
Jeté, battement.
Starting fifth with a demi-plie, one leg extends to second just off the floor. With a small spring, the extended leg is cut in under the body, while the other foot executes a double battement frappé with a flexed foot, striking the floor with the ball of the foot on the landing.
Jeté, fermé.
Starting fifth position with a demi-plie, one leg does a grand battement, carrying the body into the air and traveling in the direction of the raised leg. Both legs are fully extended in the air before landing on the first leg in demi-plie. Then the second leg, which is still outstretched, is closed in fifth.
Jeté, fondu.
Starting fifth position with a demi-plie, one leg does a grand battement, carrying the body into the air and traveling in the direction of the raised leg. Both legs are fully extended in the air before landing on the first leg in demi-plie. Then the second leg, which is still outstretched, is closed coup de pied.
Grand jeté.
En avant. The dancer takes a step forward as preparation into a grand battement front, taking the body forward into the air. The other leg is thrown to the back in arabesque, landing on the front leg in demi-plie. Not shown, the front leg may do a développé instead of a grand battement. Here the back leg is taken to attitude instead of arabesque. Here we see grand jeté en arrière, with a grand battement derrière taking the body back into the air. The other leg is thrown front, landing on the back leg in demi-plie.
Couper, jeter en tournant.
This is a compound step starting with a coupé under performed in demi-plie, turning en dedans, followed by a grand jeté en avant, repeated continuously, usually as seen here en manège.
Jeté entrelacé. Grand jeté en tournant. Tour jeté.
After a preparatory step in demi-plie, a grand battement front carries the body into the air. As the body makes a half turn, the legs change in the air, landing demi-plie on the leg which did the first battement, with the other leg in arabesque. When performed Part2, the beat occurs after the turn, the leg which does the first battement beating behind the other leg before the change, and landing on the leg which did the first battement.
6 sons ordinaires, 6 sons simples.
This is a jump from 2 feet to 1 foot, finishing coup de pied in demi-plie. Six sons simples may be executed en tournant. En dehors, the turn is performed with a six sons simple devant. En dedans with a six sons simple derrière.
Six sons ouvertes.
Starting fifth with a demi-plie, a jump is performed immediately extending one leg. On landing in demi-plie, the working leg remains extended in the air. The whole movement travels away from the extended leg. This may also be performed Part2. Here, another dancer performs six sons ouvertes with the working leg executing a développé during the jump.
Six sons fermés.
Starting fifth with a demi-plie, a jump is performed extending one leg in the air, landing on the supporting leg in demi-plie, and closing the extended leg immediately in fifth. The whole movement travels away from the extended leg. Another term for six sons fermés is faux entrechat 5 ramassé. Here we see another dancer performing Si son fermé battu. Another term for Si son fermé battu is entrechat 5 ramassé.
Si son fondu.
Starting fifth with a demi-plie, a jump is performed extending one leg in the air, landing on the supporting leg in demi-plie, and closing the extended leg immediately in coup de pied. The movement travels away from the extended leg.
Si son tombé.
Starting with a si son simple, the working foot is extended. Then the toes skim along the floor until the weight is transferred with a tombe movement onto the supporting leg in demi-plie.
Si son doublé. Si son retombé.
This is a compound step consisting of a si son ouvert in second with a coupé through fifth position demi-plie into an assemblé. Here the si son ouvert is done with a développé. Sisson doublé may also be performed battu, beating both the Sisson ouverte as well as the assemblée.
Temps de cuisse.
Starting fifth, one foot is picked up coup de pied and closed fifth position demi-plié. Traveling away from the foot which was raised, a small Sisson fermé is then performed. Here, another dancer performs temps de cuisse with a dégagé replacing the movement of the foot to coup de pied. The supporting knee is stretched on each dégagé. Temps de cuisse is also done with a shortened dégagé, the working foot pushing away from the ground until it is stretched just off the floor with the knee bent.
Pas de cheval.
From temps du devant, the working foot is drawn in through fifth to coup de pied and extended with a small développé to point tendu. Here it is repeated with a small hop on the supporting foot each time.
Ballonné.
Ballonné is a jump on one leg starting coup de pied and demi-plié, stretching the working leg while in the air and returning coup de pied on landing. The jump travels in the direction of the extension. Petit ballonné is extended at 45 degrees. Grand ballonné is extended at 90 degrees while in the air, placing the foot just under the knee on landing. Ballonnet is also performed battu. This is sometimes called fouetté battu.
Ballonnet, composé.
Ballonnet composé is a compound step. The movement consists of a ballonnet followed by a chassé through fifth into an open position, transferring the weight onto the working leg and closing fifth in demi-plié. Alternatively, a step may be taken in place of the chassé.
Ballonnet à 3 temps.
A ballonnet is done in second, finishing coup de pied devant, followed by a chassé through fifth to second, finishing point tendu before executing a coupé under.
Pas de valse.
A pas de valse consists of 3 steps, of which there are many possible variations. En tournant, a half turn is made with each pas de valse.
Balancer.
Starting dégagé and demi-plié, the weight transfers onto the extended leg, placing the other foot coup de pied. Stepping onto demi or full point and straightening the knee, the other foot is raised just off the floor. The weight is transferred again, lowering back to coup de pied. Here, when the foot in coup de pied steps onto demi or full point, the other foot is also raised coup de pied before lowering.
Pas de basque, glisser.
En avant. Starting croisé with a tendu front on demi-plié, an arc is traced to second, turning to face the other corner. The weight is transferred from the supporting leg, which stretches and chasses through first, fifth, and fourth, transferring the weight, finishing tendu derrière and closing fifth. On arrière, the movement is reversed. The ending may be varied by stepping forward into fifth on demi-point before lowering. Here the pas de basque concludes with a small assemblée skimming the floor, traveling forward or back.
Pas de basque, sauter.
Pas de basque sauté is executed in the same manner as pas de basque glissé, but the first transfer of weight is replaced with a jump. Here the foot is placed just under the supporting knee on the jump before stepping into fourth. Although not shown here, the foot may be taken coup de pied instead of knee height.
Grand, pas de basque.
En avant. The front leg is extended front in demi-plie at 45 degrees and open side at hip height. A jump is then performed onto the extended leg. On landing, the other leg passes through retiré passé into a développé front at 90 degrees before stepping forward into tendu derrière and closing. En arrière, the movement is reversed. Alternatively, during the jump, the second leg may be extended side at 90 degrees and carried directly front instead of to the supporting knee.
Saut de basque.
Starting with a step forward on the diagonal, the back leg does a grand battement front. Jumping off the supporting leg, a turn is executed in the air, landing on the other foot in retiré devant. Although not shown, a smaller grand battement may be done, landing with the foot in coup de pied. Here, the preparatory step is taken to the side, and making a half turn en dedans, the grand battement is executed to second, completing the turn as before. After the preparation, we see saut de basque performed with a double turn in the air.
Pas de chat, saut de chat.
Starting fifth with a demi-plie, the back foot is raised passé as a jump is performed. The raised leg stretches in the air before landing, as the other leg is raised passé, closing fifth front in demi-plie. Here, as the jump is performed, the back foot is raised passé. Then the second foot bends immediately to passé so that both feet are drawn up under the body before landing. Here, after the glissade preparation, the pas de chat is executed as in the previous variation, but finishes landing on both feet simultaneously. Here, after the preparation, the first leg is raised passé and extended strongly to second, as the second leg raises to passé before landing.
Jeté passé, Wöschen pas de chat.
From attitude derrière, a jump is performed off the supporting leg. Both legs pass each other in the air, landing with the other leg attitude derrière. The back leg then follows through with a chassé en avant.
Gargouillade.
This movement is executed similarly to a pas de chat with rond de jambe en l'air. En dehors. Starting with the front leg, each leg executes 1.5 rond de jambe en l'air en dehors, one after the other, before closing fifth front en demi-plié. Here the second leg does rond de jambe en dedans. En dedans. Starting with the back leg, each leg executes 1.5 rond de jambe en dedans, one after the other, before closing fifth back in demi-plié. Here the second leg does a rond de jambe en dehors. This step is also called rond de jambe en l'air double.
Balloter. Jeter, balloter.
This step consists of a jump bending the knees and drawing the feet up under the body. Landing on the back foot, the other leg is extended front. The movement is then reversed, drawing the feet up under the body, finishing with the other leg extended back. This continues alternating front and back. Here the extended leg is brought in straight under the body while executing a développé with the other foot. Performed with two stretched legs, it is also called jeté bateau.
Rond de jambe en l'air sauté.
Starting fifth with a demi-plié, a jump is performed extending one leg second and executing a rond de jambe en l'air before landing on the supporting leg with the working leg in second. Although not part of this movement, here an assemblée is done to return to fifth. Here we see rond de jambe en l'air sauté performed with a double rond de jambe en l'air, again followed with an assemblée to close.
Fouetter, sauter.
En dedans. Starting with a step forward in demi-plie as preparation, a grand battement is performed taking the body into the air. The body turns through second to arabesque before landing. En dehors, the movement is reversed, performing the grand battement derrière and turning the body through second to face the leg before landing. Fouetter sauté en dedans may also be done battu. Here the supporting leg beats against the back of the working leg before turning. This may be called cabriole fouetté or cabriole en tournant over. Here the supporting leg beats in front of the working leg after the turn. This is also called cabriole italienne or cabriole en tournant under. Here a beat is done both before and after the turn, combining the two previously seen movements.
Grand fouetté sauté.
Starting croisé, a step forward is taken as preparation, making a quarter turn en dedans. A grand battement is performed écarté devant, carrying the body into the air. On landing, the working foot brushes through first, making a quarter turn en dedans into a grand battement devant. Jumping off, the body makes a half turn in the air, finishing attitude or arabesque croisé derrière. En dehors, the movement is reversed, executing the first grand battement écarté derrière and brushing through first into a grand battement derrière. A half turn is made in the air to face the leg, continuing the turn until facing croisé devant.
Tant de poissons, pas de poissons, sissonne soubresaut.
Starting fifth position croisé, a jump is performed turning effacé. The legs are held tightly in fifth in the air while arching strongly back before landing in arabesque. Here a chassé is done, finishing tendu derrière before closing fifth and starting the next temps de poisson. Although not shown here, on landing the leg raised in arabesque may close immediately in fifth.
Tant de flèche, pas de flèche.
Here a step forward in demi-plié is taken as preparation. Then a grand battement devant carries the body into the air, bending the extended leg under the body as the supporting leg does a développé devant.
Pas de ciseaux.
En avant. Starting with a step forward on demi-plié, the back leg executes a grand battement devant, carrying the body into the air. The supporting leg is thrown forward, passing the other leg as the extended leg lands. The front leg rushes through first to arabesque, maintaining the demi-plié. En arrière, the movement is reversed, executing a grand battement derrière and throwing the supporting leg to the back, passing the other leg as it lands. The back leg then brushes through first to the front in demi-plié.
Tour en l'air.
En dehors. Starting fifth with a demi-plié, a jump is performed turning toward the front foot. The legs change in the air, landing fifth with the other foot front as at the start. En dedans, the jump is performed turning toward the back foot, changing the legs in the air to land in fifth with the other foot front as at the start. Tour en l'air may be executed with 2 or more turns before landing. Here we see a double tour en l'air en dehors.
Révoltade.
After the preparation, a grand battement devant carries the body into the air. Making a half turn towards the working leg, the supporting leg is thrown forward, jumping over the other before landing in arabesque. Here the supporting foot is taken to the knee of the extended leg during the turn. Here, after the preparation, a grand battement devant carries the body into the air, making a half turn away from the working leg. The supporting leg is thrown to the back, jumping over the other before landing, to complete the turn. Batterie is a part of the allegro consisting of all steps in which the legs execute one or more beats in the air. Their brilliance is derived from the opening movement of the legs to the side and the strong crossing of the calves which occurs for each beat. As with all allegro movements, batterie may be petite or grande, depending on the scale of the step.
Changement battu, royal.
Starting fifth and demi-plie, a jump is performed. The legs beat once without changing before landing fifth and demi-plie with the other foot front.
Entrechat 3.
Entrechat 3 is performed like a royale, finishing with one foot coup de pied. Starting fifth and demi-plie, a jump is performed. The legs beat once without changing before taking the back foot front to land coup de pied devant. Here the legs beat once without changing, taking the front foot back to land coup de pied derrière.
Entrechat 4.
Here we see entrechat 4. This movement may be done sur place or traveling. Starting 5th with a demi-plie, a jump is performed. The legs change and beat in the air before changing again to land with the same leg front as at the start.
Entrechat 5.
Entrechat 5 is done like an entrechat 4, finishing with one foot coup de pied. Starting 5th with a demi-plie, the legs change and beat in the air before changing again to land coup de pied devant with the same leg front as at the start. In entrechat 5 derrière, the legs change and beat in the air before changing again to land coup de pied derrière.
Entrechat 6.
In entrechat 6, the legs change twice in the air, beating each time before changing again to land with the other foot front as at the start.
Brisé.
In brisé over, after extending the back leg dégagé second in demi-plie, the supporting leg pushes off the ground, beating the back of the extended leg before changing to land 5th, with the same leg front as at the start. Brisé always travels in the direction of the extended leg. In brisé under, the front leg is extended second in demi-plie, and the supporting leg beats in front of the extended leg before changing and landing 5th in demi-plie with the same leg front as at the start. Although not seen here, brisé may also be done in a similar manner en avant and en arrière.
Brisé volé.
The back leg brushes front, and pushing off the floor, the supporting leg beats behind the extended leg and passes front while landing on the other leg. En arrière, the movement is reversed. Brisé volé is performed continuously en avant and en arrière. Although not seen here, a rond de jambe movement may replace the brush through first. Brisé volé may also be done landing coup de pied.
Assemblé porté et battu. Entrechat 6 de côté. Entrechat 6 de volée.
After the preparation, the back foot brushes front into an assemblé, beating the supporting leg back in front in the air before changing the legs on landing.
Cabriole ouverte.
One leg is extended in the air in demi-plie. The supporting leg pushes away from the floor, beating the extended leg from below and sending it higher. The jump lands on the same leg from which it took off. When the extended leg is taken to 45 degrees, it is termed petite cabriole ouverte. When taken to 90 degrees, the movement is called grande cabriole ouverte. Although not seen here, cabriole ouverte may be performed with 2 or more beats.
Cabriole fermée.
One leg is extended in the air in demi-plie. The supporting leg pushes away from the floor, beating the extended leg from below, sending it higher. After landing on the leg from which the jump took off, the raised leg closes immediately in fifth. When the extended leg is taken to 45 degrees, it is termed petite cabriole fermée. When taken to 90 degrees, the step is called grande cabriole fermée. After a preparation, we see cabriole fermée executed with a double beat in the air to the front. After a preparation, we see cabriole fermé performed with a double beat to the back.
Aile de pigeon, pistolet.
After the preparation, one leg is extended in the air in demi-plie. The supporting leg pushes away from the floor, beating the back, then the front of the extended leg. Then the legs change to land on the same leg from which the jump took off. This chapter consists of movements performed on the tips of the toes. Any step done half point at the bar or in the center may be performed on point. In addition, petit allegro such as assemblés, jetés, and changements may be done starting and finishing on point. Movements seen in this chapter may also be done on demi-point.
Élevé, rise.
In a rise, the heels are raised off the floor, going through all the positions of the supporting foot until full point is achieved. The heels are then lowered in the same manner. Although not seen here, this movement may also be done on one foot.
Relevé.
In relevé, a small spring is made onto point, starting and finishing in demi-plie. In fifth, it is also called temps de coup de pied. Here it is done from 2 feet to 2 feet, starting and finishing in the same position. Here on one foot with the other leg, coup de pied.
Sous-sous.
A sous-sous is a relevé in fifth, which may be done sur place or traveling in any direction. When done sur place, sous-sous is often used as a preparation.
Échappé, relevé.
Starting in closed position in demi-plie, a relevé is performed opening the legs to fourth or second and closing again in demi-plie.
Retiré, relevé. Six sonnes simples sur la pointe.
A relevé is performed from 2 feet to 1 foot, raising the working foot from fifth to the knee of the supporting leg and closing fifth in demi-plie.
Bourré. Couru. Pas de bourré couru.
This movement consists of a series of small steps on point, traveling in any direction. Here it is done in a parallel first position, traveling forward. Here it is seen in fifth, traveling in the direction of the front foot, keeping the feet well crossed. And in fifth, en tournant.
Pas de bourret changé sur les pointes.
This is a series of 3 steps on point, stepping into 5th back, to the side, and into 5th front, picking up the released foot coup de pied devant each time.
Glissade sur les pointes.
From 5th, one leg extends dégagé and demi-plié. The extended foot steps onto point, immediately closing the second foot 5th on point before lowering.
Jeté sur les pointes.
From 5th, one leg extends dégagé and demi-plié and cuts under the body on point, raising the other foot coup de pied. Although not seen here, the first leg may be extended to 45 degrees, taking the other foot to retiré instead of coup de pied. Here in close-up we see en avant and en arrière.
Assemblée soutenue. Assemblée sur les pointes.
From 5th, a dégagé is performed in demi-plié. With a slight spring, both legs are assembled in 5th on point and lowered 5th in demi-plié.
Sissonne sur les pointes.
A relevé is performed from 2 feet to 1 foot, extending the other leg at 45 or 90 degrees. The step travels strongly away from the raised leg each time.
Rond de jambe en l'air, relevé.
A relevé is performed from 2 feet to 1 foot, extending the working leg to second and executing a rond de jambe before closing 5th in demi-plié. Here, a double rond de jambe en l'air is done each time on relevé.
Ballonné sur les pointes.
This movement starts coup de pied and demi-plié. As the working leg extends to 45 degrees, a relevé is executed on the supporting leg. The supporting leg then lowers demi-plié as the working foot is returned coup de pied. Ballonné sur les pointes may be done sur place or traveling in the direction of the extended leg. Here, the working leg is extended to a height of 90 degrees.
Coupé ballonné. Coupé fouetté raccourci.
Starting coup de pied and demi-plié, the raised foot steps onto point, cutting the other foot to second. The supporting leg lowers demi-plié, whipping the extended foot coup de pied. Here it is seen executed at 90 degrees. Here the movement is again executed en tournant, making a half turn with each execution of the step along the line of travel.
Emboîter sur les pointes. Passe-pied.
A series of steps are done continuously on point, with a small extension side, before closing fifth each time.
Polka sur les pointes.
Starting fifth on point, a small hop is executed on the back foot, extending the front foot with a petit développé. After taking a small step forward, the back foot closes fifth behind, followed by another step forward on the front foot.
Fouetter relevé.
En dedans. Starting with a step forward in demi-plié, a grand battement devant en relevé is performed. The body then makes a half turn, passing through second to arabesque before lowering demi-plié. En dehors. A grand battement derrière en relevé is performed, and the body makes a half turn through second to face the leg.
Grand fouetté relevé en tournant.
Starting with a step forward in demi-plié, a développé is executed in écarté en relevé while making a quarter turn en dedans. The working foot brushes through first position demi-plié into a grand battement devant on a relevé facing the corner. Then the body makes a half turn, finishing arabesque or attitude croisée derrière. Here, a grand battement is done in place of the développé to écarté, continuing as before. En dehors. Starting with a step back in demi-plié, a développé is executed in second en relevé. The working foot brushes through first position demi-plié into a grand battement croisé derrière en relevé. Then the body makes a half turn to face the leg, continuing the turn to finish croisé devant.
Fouetter en tournant. Tour fouetté.
From retiré devant, the working leg is extended front in demi-plié. As a relevé is executed, the extended leg is whipped second and to retiré devant while turning en dehors. Here the working leg is extended directly to second, and the foot is whipped to the back of the supporting knee and quickly changed front while turning en dehors. Although not seen here, fouetter en tournant may be reversed, turning en dedans.
Piqué tour, posé tour.
One or more turns may be performed in a series as many times as desired. En dedans. Starting tendu front in demi-plié, the front leg performs a demi-rond de jambe to the side and steps onto point, raising the other leg retiré derrière, making a full turn en dedans. The weight is then lowered onto the back foot in demi-plié, extending the other foot front. Here the leg is raised retiré devant during the turn. The raised leg may also be taken coup de pied devant or derrière. En dehors. A step is taken to the side in demi-plié. The second leg cuts underneath on point, turning en dehors with the other foot in front of the supporting knee. Here, the second leg brushes forward, stepping into fourth, turning en dehors as before. Here, as the first step is made to the side, the other foot is taken coup de pied derrière before continuing the turn as before.
Pas de basque en tournant. Soutenu en tournant.
From tendu devant, a step is made sideways onto the point of the working foot. The other foot closes fifth front, making a full turn toward the back foot and allowing the feet to change. The weight is then lowered onto the back foot in demi-plie, extending the other foot front.
Emboîté relevé en tournant.
This movement consists of a series of steps to the side on point, making a half turn each time with the other foot placed coup de pied devant. The first half turn is en dedans, followed by a half turn en dehors along the line of travel. Here, the step starts fifth with a demi-plie and does a relevé onto the front foot. At the end of every second half turn, the dancer closes the raised leg fifth front in demi-plie.
Chaîné. Déboulé. Tour chaîné déboulé. Petit tour.
A series of steps are performed on point in first position, making a half turn on each step along the line of travel.